Hello everyone, this week I'm going to be sharing with you how I let a wheel pick the projects that I'll be working on every day because I cannot make any decisions by myself. Also, this is just fun. It's just fun not knowing what's gonna come up. And a lot of people do it because it's fun. So I have this wheel where I have the name of every single one of my projects, but then I also have prompts that will determine what project I'll be working on. And sometimes they're the same project, sometimes it's a different project, and that gives me the chance to have one project come up more than once, and it also helps me keep track of how my projects are doing. So for example, I have biggest project, that's always the same one unless I have a new start or I finish something, which it's not gonna happen anytime soon. Then I have requires the most stitches for the next percentage, which changes depending on what each project is at. Same with requires least amount of stitches for the next percentage. I have closest to nearest 5% and farthest away from the nearest 5%. I have the smallest project, which again is usually the same one unless I have a start or a finish. I have oldest project, newest project, highest percentage, which can change depending on what I've been working on. Also same with lowest percentage. And then I also have a small section for a new start that I'm hoping to get this week because I really want to start on something new, a new project that I've been wanting to start for so long, but I can't do it until it comes up on the wheel. So the way that I usually do my wheels is that I spin for a project and then I put 100 stitches in that project. Once I get the 100 stitches, I go back to the wheel and I remove the option of getting that exact same prompt again for the week. So every time that I remove something, the new start piece gets bigger and bigger, and I'm hoping again that I will get it this week. In addition to doing my wheel spins, I will also do a daily 100 on the gifts that I'm still working on. I'm close to finishing one of them and then I'll be able to start the other one, and then that one I can share with you as if we're whatever. But yeah, I like to do 100 stitches because I tried doing 1,000 before and it took me like 5 or 6 days because apparently I'm also a slow stitcher. In addition to being like a slow reader, doing 1,000 stitches per project was taking me nearly an entire week, and that wasn't as fun. But by doing 100 stitches per project and having multiple sections where the same project can come up just helps me put in more progress each week, or at least it feels like it, and it's less boring for me. So yeah, I will be sharing with you my wheel spins and then the projects as they come up. I will tell you all the information on them, and then hopefully we'll get a lot of progress and a new start this week. Okay, let's do the first spin and figure out what project I'm working on. Ooh, closest to nearest 1,000. So let's figure out what that is. Okay, the project I'm going to be working on is The Internet Makes Me Sad from Studio Paka. It is 14 count, 3/1. It is an estimated 900 stitches. So only 100 stitches to go to get to the nearest 1,000, which is what I have to put in anyway. And I say estimated because I have this as a pseudo paper pattern. I couldn't get it on any of the apps like Pattern Keeper or Markup, so I'm just doing it by hand on my iPad. And I'm not doing any of the outside white, so I don't really know how much it is. Like there's a gap here. I don't know if you can see it. There's just like that one blank space because that's like the outside, like the edge of the pattern. And I'm not stitching it, but I'm just counting it as one of the 100 in the square just because it's easier. So I'm going to be doing 100 stitches over here, and I'll be back when I do that. Okay, this is where we are now after doing 100 stitches on The Internet Makes Me Sad. I actually worked on 2 blocks, and I'm sorry about the shadow. It's sunset now. But I actually worked in 2 blocks, but I counted the actual the actual stitches that you do, ignoring all the negative space, and it's about 100 stitches. So I just decided to do both of those. I am going to count them as 200 stitches for my tracking just to make it easier for myself, but this is 100 stitches at it. So now that specific prompt has been removed from my wheel. I just have it hidden so that it doesn't show up for this week, but the same project can still show up in a different category. So let's spin to see what we'll do now. Requires least stitches for next percent. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone else, but it makes sense to me. So I know what it's trying to say, and I'm gonna go figure out what project that is. And the lucky project that I'm going to be working on is my Schitt's Creek sampler. I need 378 stitches to reach my next percent, which would be 5%, and I'm going to add 100 stitches to this now. This is, I believe, 18 count fabric from Michaels, and I'm doing 2/1, and I'm just working on it motif by motif. That's my hand shadow. That's weird. And this is 100 stitches more on my Schitt's Creek sampler. It is now Thursday, and I haven't rolled since I finished this yesterday, and I think I want today to be a big stitching day. Hopefully we'll get the new start soon, because I got all my materials for it today. I'm so excited to start it. It just has to come up on the wheel. And speaking of the wheel, it's time to spin again. Ooh, Birth of Venus. Okay. So this is the starting point. I think I either have to finish this square over here and then the section after that, or I already have to start the next row of squares, the next diagonal. My cat has just been like standing on my legs for a good 3 minutes now. Oh, now she's backing up. Now she's backing up once I tell the people. Okay, these are my 100 stitches on Birth of Venus. They're kind of all over the place, so it doesn't look super satisfying. But I just wanted to park some of the finish the park threads, because it was annoying me. And now I really want to finish the gift that I'm working on. I'm less than 100 stitches away from finishing, and then after that I will spin again. And it's time to spin again. You can start to see, oh, okay. I was gonna say, you can see the beginning of the new start. Tiny little line or slice. But we didn't get it. We have biggest project, and my biggest project is Rose Library from Unconventional Cross Stitch. The art is by Ivy Dolomore, but it's retired now, and this is 257,400 stitches. I'm working on it 10 stitch, and I'm honestly just going by vibes, so maybe I'll park some of, not park, I keep doing this, I'll stitch some of the park threads, or maybe I'll continue somewhere down there. I don't know. And here are the 100 stitches on Rose Library. I worked on mostly the green, I think it's plants. They look like plants from far away. From very close, they just look like blobs. But yeah, now it's time for another spin. Okay, Schitt's Creek. I thought I saw a new star for a second, but I think it was just newest project. But let's pull out Schitt's Creek again. So this is the starting progress for today, and I'll see you back once I have 100 stitches on it. And here it is with 100 more stitches. And now to roll again. Okay, smallest project. That, I think it may be Schitt's Creek again, but we can check. Okay, actually the smallest project is The Internet Makes Me Sad, and I have to do the next square, which I think is the last one going up. So depending on how many stitches that is, if it's not like enough, maybe I'll come down here and continue this one. But I would like to finish the entire square before, like, I don't want to leave it halfway. So maybe I'll just do the top, whatever, however much that is. Maybe I just want to keep spinning the wheel. Maybe. And here is the project on The Internet Makes Me Sad. Like I said, I just worked on the very top square, which is the last one on this row. It's the very top one. It's not 100 stitches that I actually stitched, but it is a 100 square block, 10 by 10 block. And I'm counting that because I want to spin again, and I want to hopefully get a new start. Okay, time to spin again. Ooh, highest percentage. I have to look up which one that is. Okay, highest percentage is Birth of Venus. It's at 9%, which doesn't sound very high, but it is the highest one that I have going on so far. And I'm probably going to continue working on the park threads so that they're not a tangle mess anymore, hopefully. And this is 100 stitches on Birth of Venus. I just did some of the park threads. If you can hear that noise, it's just my cat purring. Isn't she adorable? Anyway, she decided to take over the little table testing that I was using to show this, so now I have to figure out how to do more spins because we are definitely doing another spin. Okay, I think this will have to do, and let's spin again and hopefully get a new start. Oh my god, I got excited for a second. So, newest project, that is not a new start. It's just the project that I have started most recently. And that project is going to be Winter, which hasn't come up at all this week, so that's fun. This is by Flana's Illustrations, and it was on Thread Geeks, but it's now retired because they got rid of all of their artists to do mostly AI, it seems. But whatever. This is 28 count 2/1 10 stitch. It is 155,844. I'm at 6. Wait, no. I promise I know how to read my notes. I'm at 801 stitches, which is 1%, and as you can see, I'm doing color completion starting with 310 black. So I'm just going all over the place on this chart, so I don't really know where I'm going. Maybe just, I don't know, we'll figure it out. And since it's 10 stitch, it should go by faster than regular. I did 100 stitches on Winter, just this block right here, and now it's time to spin again. I have it all ready because I'm excited. I want to get a new start. You can start to see the little line there, so maybe if we get lucky. All this project. I think that would have to be either Schitt's Creek or Birth of Venus. And it is Schitt's Creek, just by like a week. I'm thinking that I'm going to do the border, like the whole outside, or as much as I can in 100 stitches, so that I know how big this piece will be, and then after that I can just fill it in. So this is the progress that I made on Schitt's Creek sampler with 100 stitches. I just went down, and every 10 stitches I added like an extra one for a marker. Well, you can't see it very well here anymore because I kind of filled it up a little. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe I'll be able to finish this motif this month, which will be interesting because I'll be able to start a new motif for the first time in like a year. But now we spin. I have my wheel right here. You can see the words of new start now. So we're getting there. Hopefully this is the one. Oh, it was so close. Ooh. It almost was. The internet makes me sad. But lowest percentage, let's see what that is. Lowest percentage is once again Winter, which is at 0.58% or something like that. And now I'm glad that I didn't take it out of the hoop and the gram card and everything, because we just get to keep working on it. I'll probably continue this, and again, this is 10 stitch, so it should go by faster. I don't know what this gap is. Maybe I see if I can fit this up. What? Maybe I'll see if I can fill up this gap, unless it's meant to be like that. So this is 100 more stitches on Winter. I worked on this bottom outline because I really wanted to fill up the gaps, or make the outline so that I can fill up the gaps. I think I'm working on this section with the hair and then the wolf down here. So if I go up, the hair is going to be a lot of 310, and then the wolf not as much. So I don't know. But then there's also the branch. Does the branch go into the hair? Is it just the hair? Is it another wolf? What's happening? Oh, I think it's just more hair, not a branch. Anyways, isn't this gorgeous? I love it. But now it's time for more spins, which I have right here all set up and ready because you can see the new start right there. Okay, the internet makes me sad. I thought I was going to switch to the next one very last second, but no. So let's pull that out. Okay, so last time that I worked on this, I got to the top of the page, and now I'm going to continue with the bottom of it. I'm going towards the bottom. Good news about this is that it should all be like the full square should be 100 stitches, and there's no counting or cheating like it did at the top where I only stitched a little bit and counted it as 100. So I think I'm somewhere around here, and we're just gonna stitch that. I have added 100 stitches to the internet makes me sad, and now it's time to spin, probably for the last time tonight. I probably won't finish working on this today because I have to go to bed, but today or tomorrow. And if it's a new start, it's gonna have to wait until tomorrow. So this is the only time that I'm hoping to not get it. Ooh, these number of colors. I usually do this on whatever I'm working on, like per page, or if I'm doing the whole pattern at once, like for this one, then I use the whole pattern. So let's see. It is Saturday morning now, even though it doesn't look like it. It's very gloomy out, but I just got back from work and I decided that I'm going to work on Schitt's Creek sampler because it only has 3 colors left on the motif. And I know that I could have done winter since I'm technically only using 1 color because it's color completion, but that felt like cheating. Because then in that way, it would always be winter, you know? So I'm going to be adding 100 stitches to this, and hopefully today or tomorrow will be the day when I have a new start. And if it doesn't happen this weekend, I'm really just gonna start on Monday, regardless of the wheel. So here is 100 stitches on my Schitt's Creek sampler. As you can probably see, I worked on the letters mostly and then a little bit of the background because I didn't want to leave a letter in half. And now it's time to spin again. I'm honestly just so excited. Oh my god! It was so close! It was so close! Okay, Rose Library. So, here's what I'm starting today with Rose Library. I'll probably do some work up here and maybe get that plant filled up a bit more. And this is 100 stitches in Rose Library. I had to turn on the big light at 4:30 p.m. because it's so gloomy out, and it's May. That's crazy. But now it's time to spin. And you know what? At this point, I don't even want a new start. I don't want it. I don't want it. I thought that would work for a second. Okay, so farthest away from the nearest 5%, we have winter sitting at 0.64%. So we're gonna add 100 stitches on this, and I'm sure that's gonna get us. Okay, say hello to my cat now, I guess. I'm sure 100 stitches is gonna get us much closer to 5%. And here are the 100 stitches on winter. I just kind of outlined another gap that I have out here so that I can just fill this up next time, and then I can also fill this up and then not have to be worrying about counting too much. Also, I just realized that maybe having the small clips with the projects is a little bit chaotic. Hopefully not too much, and hopefully you're able to follow along. But now we're gonna spin again. I have my wheel right here, and you can see the bar is getting bigger. I may have to work on winter again. Wait. Oh yeah! Let's go! New start. And it wasn't winter. Let's go. So this is going to be a brand new start. Have I shown you what I'm doing? Probably not. I'm going to be working on hot springs from Unconventional Cross Stitch, and the art is by Mrs. Butterdy. And I have my fabric ready. I have a bunch of floss that's specific for this project. Like, none of this floss is being used in any of my other projects, so I have it on a little bag separate from like my box of my master set. I think I have all of the floss, I have the fabric, I have everything ready, and I can start a new project. I'm so excited I can't even speak. So this is going to be done on 25 count gridded fabric. Exciting. This is, let me see, 85,750 stitches, and I think that I'm gonna show you. I'm so excited. This is so pretty. This is the chart that I'm going to be working on. Isn't she gorgeous? I'm thinking that I'm going to start at the bottom and then work my way like up towards the middle. I don't know if I want to do diagonal because that's something that I haven't tried before. But whatever I end up doing, I know I want to start down here and then like see it bloom out, if that makes any sense. I'm so excited. I'm literally so excited for this. It is now Monday and the week of spins is finally ended, and honestly, I think it was pretty successful. Not gonna lie. I thought that we could go over some of the stats that I have on my spreadsheet here, and then I can show you where all of my projects ended up. First, I'm going to start with my new start, which I don't even know. I think I did mention what it was. It's Hot Springs from Unconventional Cross Stitch and Mrs. Butterdy. I don't know if it's Mrs. Butterdy or Mrs. Buttered, but it's gorgeous. I love the colors. I made a little floss drop of the first few colors that I'll be using. They're all so pink. I love it. And then after I spin the new start on the wheel that first day, I just decided to do nothing but the new start. I put in 185 stitches that first day and then 175 the next day. So this is where we're at 360 stitches, I believe. It's not a lot, but it took me so long. But that's because I'm learning to do diagonal, and honestly I think I kind of like it, and now I'm kind of trying to do diagonal in another project. I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I think it looks pretty cute. I can't wait to work on it more, and I'm so glad that I finally got this started. Oh, so Hot Springs is also 25 count, and I worked on it 2 days this weekend, or this week, but it was this weekend. The next project to show you is Winter. This is from Thread Geeks, or it was from Thread Geeks. It's now retired, and the artist is Eflena Studios Illustrations. Oh my goodness. But I worked on it 2 days this week, and I put in 205 stitches. I just gonna try to like surround the gaps, and then I also made a new gap, but that one's going to be filled in. I just made it so that it will be easier in the future to just fill that up and just stitch and not having to count and all that. Also during this week, I finished one of my gifts, and also I decided to not start yet, but to do another one. So instead of just doing one more gift, I'm going to be doing 2 more gifts. I don't know, but it's fine because I think those should be fine showing if it comes to that, if I don't finish them all in one day, like I'm sure I will. My next project to show you is my Schitt's Creek sampler, and I added 401 stitches, and I worked on it 4 days. It came up the most than any other project this week, and we got a lot of progress on it. I still think it's doable for me to finish this whole motif by the end of the month, so I'm very happy with this because this is literally the most progress it has had in like a year, so yay. And then next I have The Internet Makes Me Sad, and then during this week we got to the top of the page, and then I started working at the bottom a little bit. I worked on this 3 days, and I still love the colors. I'm enjoying the process. I'm happy that I got to work on it so much because again, it gets very little progress otherwise if it doesn't come up on my wheel. And honestly, I'm gonna be super honest, this week I spun the wheel more than I usually do because I wanted to get the new start and because I was doing this. So yeah, fun. Thank you for the motivation. Okay, this next one is going to be Rosa Library from Unconventional Cross Stitch. I don't know why I'm mentioning like everything again because it's already been mentioned multiple times, but just have it at this point, I guess. I worked a lot up here and I also continued down here a little. I don't know if you can tell a lot because I was mostly filling in gaps that were like the brown, the same brown of the bookshelf of the book, whatever that is. So you can't really tell a lot of progress of this, but you can see progress up here and I'm happy with that. I added 211 stitches and I worked on it 2 days this week. And then my last project is not 100% accurate because I have been working on it today a lot. But during this little week challenge, I added 203 stitches to Birth of Venus from Thread Geeks and Crucibug. I think I actually have a photo of what it looked like at the end of this week before I start working on it today, so I'll include that as well so you can see a more accurate representation because this is after I worked on it today. And this is the project that I'm trying to do diagonal the other way. Hot Springs, I'm doing diagonal going up, and then this one I want to do a diagonal going down. I was already doing a sort of diagonal, but I was doing like 10 by 10 blocks diagonally, and now I want to I'm undecided because I don't know, I'm just kind of over it the how stitching this before, and I feel like it has so many park threads, but also if I do diagonal that's gonna be even more park threads. So I don't know, I'm torn between just doing all the park threads or doing diagonal. I keep going back and forth. That's why it's starting to look a bit messy up here. Not messy, but it's kind of all over the place, you know? Yeah, I added 203 stitches over last week, and then I've been working on it a lot today. I don't know why, I just felt like it. And I've already added 150 more stitches, so that's why it looks like more progress than it actually was. So speaking of progress, let's talk about the stats of this week. I actually stitch every single day, which is kind of rare for me. Sometimes I do take a day or two off, but again, I was doing this, so I wanted to stitch every single day. It's by far my most successful week of the year at 2,190 stitches. And then that also makes May my most successful stitching a month of the year. And also, I say that's insane, but I know that so many people stitch so much more, like 1,000 per day. It's just, that's not where I'm at in my life at the moment. I can't really do that. And even when I'm trying, like today, I'm trying to just spend the whole day stitching, and I only have 130, and it's been like almost 3 hours of it. But these numbers, trust me, are great for me. My highest stitch count on a single day was in April, 502 stitches, and then this week I got 3 days at 490 stitches. So that's pretty close. That's pretty good. I'm very happy with that because again, I can't really do like 1,000 stitches per day. I mostly do about 100 stitches, if that, if I even stitch in a day, because I don't stitch every single day. Maybe now I'll start, now that I have a bit more free time, maybe I'll do that. But yeah, stitching every day this week and then getting 400 stitches multiple days, it's great. I absolutely love that. And it was all thanks to the wheel and wanted to do a start in this. On Thursday I had my most varied day because I worked on 5 different projects, including the finish for my gift. So yay! Then of course on Saturday I had my new start and I'm absolutely loving it. And yeah, I'm very happy with the progress of this week. Today is now Monday and the wheel has been reset, but I'm not going to keep going with the wheel. I usually only use it when I don't know what to stitch, but right now I'm feeling very focused on Birth of Venus, my new start, and on finishing the Shit's Creek motif. So I don't think I'll need the wheel. Maybe I'll make a different wheel with just those 3 projects in case I don't know what to work on. But yeah, I'm very happy with the progress of this week. I think that's all that I have to share with you. I hope that because I was doing like such short clips that it wasn't too difficult to follow along or too confusing. I honestly didn't think about it until like Friday, so hopefully it'll be good, but I'll try to do better next time if I do this again. But yeah, that is going to be it for me today. I had a good time and I hope that you did too. And Yeah, bye.